Cuando somos buenos, nadie nos recuerda. Cuando somos malos, nadie nos olvida. When we are good, nobody remembers us. But when we are bad, nobody forgets us. Hello everyone, my name is George Palacio, and today I'm going to talk about the life of Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. El Chapo's bad decisions pictured him as one of the world's most dangerous men, but people never saw the good in him. A family friend of mine worked closely in the same field as El Chapo and would tell me the stuff that would go on within the cartels in Mexico, including El Chapo's. El Chapo is known as one of the world's most biggest criminal that failed to recognize his childhood, the amount he gave back to the poor, and how everyone loved him. And the harsh childhood Joaquin went through growing up, and that led him into the drug game, was being born into poverty. And that made it hard to survive, especially from where he was from. Many people are not aware of how difficult El Chapo's upbringing was like, due to being born in an impoverished and remote place where there's only 30,000 residents living in deep poverty and struggling for subsistence. And also, according to the Busman, in 2013, Guzman was born in 1957, and few details have emerged about his early life. But some say poverty forced him to sell oranges to survive, and that he only went to school through elementary. He did what he had to do to survive, and to make sure he wouldn't struggle again. And with the lack of opportunities in his area, he was forced to sell drugs to make fast money. And this is the drugs, the salt. And according to Alan Fear, El Chapo was so poor and he never had anything to eat. And that is one of the main reasons why he started dealing with drugs. And once El Chapo got into the drug business and gained his fast money, he didn't forget about the people and place he came from. And once El Chapo gained power and wealth with his rank in the cartel, he never forgot how he used to live in poverty and gave back to the people that are struggling. And as he began to establish the Sinaloa cartel as a Robin Hood-like figure who provided much needed services in the Sinaloa mountains, funding everything from food, roads, and medical relief, according to Sean Penn when he interviewed him in 2016. And he always has helped the people, said Jehu Rendon, a street seller in the main square of the small town of where Guzman lived. El Chapo was always generous when helping the poor, and was trying to make life easier for them. And as someone who grew up poor, it humbled him to give back to his people, and he did just that. And he had a reputation for generosity and helping the poor.
Oh, sir, can you help my family?
Here you go.
Thank you.
Stay safe. And in the old style of swaggering kingpins, Guzman cultivated support in his native Sinaloa by handing out money and favors to hardworking villagers, according to Gale in 2019. And El Chapo's generosity led to many people idolizing him and loving him. Everyone loved El Chapo and how he was a figure highly praised in Mexico. Many people thought of him as a hero instead of a criminal. El Chapo was highly praised in Mexico for his gratitude towards the poor and helping them, that he has gained an almost mythical status in Mexico, where he has been compared to Elvis and Osama bin Laden, according to Gale in 2019. And many people compare him to Mexican folkloric Malverde, a bandit who used to rob from the rich and give to the poor, and both locals and visitors from far and wide come to ask him for favors and blessings. Joaquin was someone who gave people happiness and hope instead of the government. And a former Mexican ambassador spoke about Chapo and said, "You are Santa Claus, and everybody loves Santa Claus." In an article, in the interview with Sean Penn in 2016. And people saw Chapo as a social bandit, as a Robin Hood. He fixes up towns, puts lights in cemeteries, and because of the government, couldn't do that for the town. And many people think He is so dangerous, but many people know where his heart is, and it is for the people, and that has lived through the struggle. As one of the world's most famous, as one of the former world's most wanted men, El Chapo had a good side, and people failed to cover. Growing up in poverty led to his beginning of working for the cartels that gave him money to support his family through rough times. The rough times humbled him to make sure to give back to the people because he knows what it feels like to have nothing. So he consistently gave back to the poor and needy. And everyone loved Chapo due to his character and how he helped out the needy when they needed him the most. And El Chapo is very dangerous when it comes to the drug business, but when it comes to an average person in daily life, he is one of the best persons to be around. He is very humble and able to teach you so much about life that you will never know due to his struggle. And the most humble person can impact someone's life drastically, and he can do that with anyone willing to give a chance to know him as anything other than a criminal. Thank you.